Every child draws the sun the same way. A bright yellow circle, sharp rays, sometimes orange, sometimes red. It feels obvious, natural, undeniable. But here's the truth no one told you. The sun is not yellow, not even close. In fact, the color you've trusted your entire life is a lie created by your own eyes. If you could step into space right now, far beyond Earth's atmosphere, the sun would not appear yellow at all. It would appear white, pure, blinding, white. So why does every textbook say otherwise? Why do artists, emojis, and even scientists casually call it a yellow star? And if the sun isn't yellow, what else about the universe have we misunderstood just because of how we see? This isn't a trick of language. It's a flaw in human perception. Your eyes were never designed to see the universe as it truly is. They were designed to help you survive on Earth. And in the next few minutes, you'll discover how light, atmosphere, and biology teamed up to fool billions of people into believing something that was never true. By the end of this video, you'll never look at the sun the same way again. So if the sun isn't yellow, what color is it? The answer sounds almost too simple to believe. The sun is white. Not white because it lacks color, but white because it contains all colors. The sun emits light across the entire visible spectrum: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Every color your eyes are capable of seeing. When all those wavelengths arrive together, they blend into a single result: white light. This is the same reason a white light bulb doesn't look rainbow-colored, even though it's producing many colors at once. The sun behaves the same way, just on a scale so powerful it defines daylight itself. If you could capture sunlight in space, far away from Earth's atmosphere, and pass it through a prism, you wouldn't see yellow. You'd see a perfect spectrum, every color laid out, side by side. That spectrum is the sun's true signature. Yellow is not its identity. It's just one small part of the whole. And once you understand that, the question stops being, why is the sun yellow, and becomes something far more interesting. Why does it look yellow to us? The problem isn't the sun. It's you. Human eyes were never built to measure the universe accurately. They were built to keep you alive on Earth. Inside your eyes are tiny cells called cones, specialized for detecting color. But when light becomes too intense, those cones begin to fail at their job. The sun is overwhelmingly bright, so bright that your color receptors become saturated. When that happens, fine color detail disappears. Your brain fills in the gaps. Instead of seeing a perfectly balanced white light, your visual system biases toward warmer tones, yellow and orange, because they're easier to process under extreme brightness. It's the same reason a camera overexposes bright light. Details vanish. Colors wash out. Now add another layer of distortion. Your brain actively corrects what it thinks it sees. Your brain expects the sun to look warm, comforting, familiar. So it reinforces that expectation. What you're seeing isn't raw reality. It's an interpretation, a compromise between biology and brightness. And that means the sun's yellow color is not something you're observing. It's something your brain is inventing. But even this is only part of the deception, because the biggest lie of all is still above your head. Even if your eyes were perfect, you would still be deceived, because between you and the sun is something far more powerful than human biology: Earth's atmosphere. Sunlight does not travel to your eyes untouched. Before it reaches the ground, it must pass through hundreds of kilometers of air, and that air doesn't treat all colors equally. Shorter wavelengths, especially blue and violet light, are scattered in every direction. They don't make it straight to your eyes. This process is called Rayleigh scattering, and it's the reason the sky is blue. The blue light you see above you was stolen from the sun's original white light and spread across the sky. What remains is no longer balanced. The sunlight that reaches your eyes is missing much of its blue. so it appears warmer, more yellow, more orange. The sun didn't change, the light did. You're not seeing the sun as it is. You're seeing what's left of it after Earth's atmosphere has filtered the truth. And this distortion doesn't stay constant. It gets worse. Because when the sun moves closer to the horizon, the lie grows even stronger. If the sun is white and the atmosphere already makes it look yellow, then why does it turn orange or red as it sets? Because at sunset, sunlight takes the longest, most distorted path possible. When the sun is overhead, its light passes through a relatively short stretch of atmosphere, but near the horizon, that path becomes dramatically longer, sometimes 10 times thicker. Every extra kilometer strips away more color. First, the blues disappear, then greens, then yellows. By the time sunlight finally reaches your eyes, only the longest wavelengths remain. Red. The sun hasn't cooled, it hasn't changed, it hasn't shifted its color. You are simply seeing the last survivors of a long journey. This is the same reason sunsets look dramatic during wildfires or pollution. More particles mean more scattering. More scattering means deeper reds. What you call a beautiful sunset is actually sunlight being torn apart by the atmosphere, a slow visual erosion of white light, and once again, Earth stands between you and the truth. But there's a place where this never happens, a place with no air, no scattering, no distortion, and from there, the sun finally reveals its real face. There is one place where the sun cannot lie to you: space. Beyond Earth's atmosphere, there is no air to scatter light, no particles to filter colors, no distortion. And when astronauts look at the sun from orbit, they don't see yellow, they see white. Footage from the International Space Station shows it clearly. A harsh, colorless brilliance against the black of space. Satellites that study the sun don't record yellow light either. They measure a balanced spectrum. Every wavelength present, nothing missing. This isn't interpretation, it's data. Solar observatories like those operated by NASA are calibrated to remove atmospheric effects entirely. What remains is the sun's true output, white light. When scientists add artificial colors to solar images, they do it for one reason only: to reveal invisible details, magnetic fields, solar flares, extreme temperatures. Not because that's how the sun looks. The real sun, the one that defines daylight on Earth, is blinding, neutral, and white. Yellow is a local illusion, a side effect of standing on a planet with air. And once you leave that air behind, the myth disappears instantly. But this raises an uncomfortable question. If the evidence has always been there, why do we still call the sun a yellow star? The idea of a yellow sun didn't come from science. It came from simplicity. When early educators tried to explain the universe, they weren't aiming for perfect accuracy. They were aiming for understanding. A white sun against a white sky is hard to draw, hard to explain, hard to remember. So yellow became a shortcut. It was warm, familiar, easy for children to recognize. Over time, that simplification hardened into fact. Textbooks repeated it. Illustrations reinforced it. Classroom posters made it permanent. Even the term yellow dwarf slipped into casual use. Not because it was precise, but because it was convenient. But in professional astronomy, the sun is not classified by how it looks to the human eye. It's classified by temperature and spectrum. The yellow label survived not because it was true, but because no one felt the need to correct it. And once a concept becomes familiar, challenging it feels uncomfortable. So the myth stayed, not as a lie told with bad intentions, but as an error passed down quietly, generation after generation. And the longer it remained unchallenged, the more obvious it seemed. Until now. Because once you look past tradition, past illustrations, past what feels right, the sun tells a very different story. Once you accept that the sun's color is an illusion, something unsettling happens. You start to question everything else you think you see in space. Stars that appear red or blue in the night sky aren't always that color. Distance, brightness, and human vision distort them, just like they distort the sun. Planets, too, are not what they seem. The deep reds of Mars, the electric blues of Neptune, the dramatic colors of distant nebulae, many of these images are enhanced. Not to deceive, but to translate invisible information into something we can understand. Infrared, ultraviolet, radio waves, colors your eyes were never meant to see are mapped into colors you recognize. Even the famous images from space telescopes are not photographs in the traditional sense. They are visual interpretations of data, beautiful, accurate in meaning, but not always accurate in appearance. This doesn't make them false, it makes them necessary. Because the universe does not care about human senses. Your eyes evolved for survival under African skies, not for decoding galaxies billions of light years away. So when space looks strange, or different, or nothing like you imagined, it's not the universe that's wrong. It's your expectations. And the sun was just the beginning. The sun was never yellow. Your eyes lied. Earth's atmosphere lied. Tradition lied. But that doesn't mean the universe is wrong. It means perception is limited. It means reality is more complex, more fascinating, and far stranger than we often assume. White light, scattered skies, red sunsets. These aren't errors. They are clues, clues that teach us how the cosmos interacts with our planet, how physics shapes what we see, and how the universe constantly challenges our intuition. The next time you look at the sun, or the stars, or a distant planet, remember, what you see is only part of the story. Science exists to reveal the rest, to correct what feels obvious, to uncover truth hidden behind perception. The sun is not yellow, it is white, brilliant, unforgiving. And now, you know. And that knowledge changes everything. Because seeing the universe for what it truly is the first step toward understanding it.